Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we peel back those corporate layers and find out what is really going on behind the scenes. Today we're diving into a filing from Solesence Incorporated, and let's just say there is a bit of a shuffle happening behind the executive desk, and some new arrangements are being made. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you are all about cracking open these corporate documents and getting the real story, smash that subscribe button. And hey, we've got a super active Discord community linked in the description below where we break down these filings even further. Seriously, come join the conversation. So, what are we looking at here? Solesence Incorporated is putting out a current report for the 1st of December, but the key event they're highlighting happened a little earlier on the 21st of November. This is essentially a heads up that something significant has changed within the company. This is Solesence Incorporated itself, a company we've seen before. They're involved in the stock market, trading under the ticker symbol SLSN on the Nasdaq. Folks who hold their shares will be keeping a close eye on these updates. Now let's talk business. On the 22nd of November, the company inked a consulting deal with a familiar face, Jess Jankowski. Mr. Jankowski used to be the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officer for Solesence Incorporated. He recently retired from his role as a board advisor on the 21st of November, but he is not completely out. He is stepping into a consulting role, agreeing to provide up to 80 hours of his expertise. What kind of expertise, you ask? Well, it is all about the ins and outs of management, keeping financial records tidy, and navigating those tricky SEC filings. For this, he is set to earn a cool $177 per H hour. And that leads us to another big change. Remember Jess Jankowski, the former CEO and CFO who just retired? Well, as of the 21st of November, he also stepped off the board of directors for Solesence. But here is the important part: almost immediately after Mr. Jankowski retired from the board, they appointed Kevin Cureton. You probably know him as the current Chief Executive Officer and President of the company. He is now filling the remainder of Mr. Jankowski's term as a Class III director on the board. The company mentioned that they don't expect Mr. Cureton to join any board committees. Much like Mr. Jankowski, the board did take a moment to thank Mr. Jankowski for his long service and many contributions, which you'd expect. This agreement with Jess Jankowski is pretty key, and it is officially filed as an exhibit. It details the terms of his continued involvement, ensuring the company can still tap into his experience even after his retirement. This isn't uncommon. Experienced leaders often transition to advisory or consulting roles to help with stability during leadership changes. And as always with these filings, they include interactive data files, making it easier for investors and analysts to dig into the numbers. Now let's put on our investor hats and see what this means. Solesence Incorporated is clearly going through a leadership transition. The retirement of Jess Jankowski from the board and his new consulting role, along with the promotion of Kevin Cureton to the board, signals a shift in how the company is being managed and overseen. On one hand, retaining an experienced figure like Jankowski in a consulting capacity can be a smart move. It provides continuity and institutional knowledge, especially as the company navigates complex financial and regulatory matters. This could be a strength, ensuring that vital expertise isn't lost overnight. However, the departure of a former CEO and CFO from the board itself, even with a consulting arrangement, does raise questions about the longer term direction and independence of the board. Kevin Cureton taking a board seat as the current CEO is a common practice to ensure alignment between management and the board, but we'll be watching closely to see how this new dynamic plays out. Are there any hidden risks here? Perhaps the company is facing challenges that led to this accelerated transition. Or maybe Jankowski's consulting role is a temporary bridge to a more permanent succession plan. Without specific financial tables in this particular report to dive deep into, we're focusing on the governance and leadership changes. The $177 per HR rate for consulting certainly isn't pocket change, and the 80 Hour limit suggests a focused, albeit limited, scope of engagement. The real test for Solesence will be how effectively Kevin Cureton and the rest of the management team can drive the company forward without the direct day-to-day involvement of their former long-standing leader. So, what is my take on Solesence Incorporated based on this filing? It is a company in transition. The retirement of a key executive and his subsequent consulting role, alongside the appointment of the current CEO to the board, suggests a deliberate effort to manage leadership changes smoothly. The strength here is the potential for continued access to valuable experience. The weakness, if any, lies in the potential for disruption or a loss of a unique perspective that Mr. Jankowski brought to the board. The opportunity for them is to use this transition to reinforce their strategy and clearly communicate their vision for the future under new leadership. A notable risk might be investor uncertainty during such a period of change. Ultimately, Solesence Incorporated appears to be navigating a critical leadership transition. Their ability to maintain momentum and execute their strategic plan will be key in the coming quarters. Alright, that is our breakdown of Solesence Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these leadership changes and what they signal for the company's future? Are you bullish or bearish on Solesence moving forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable for you, hitting that like button really helps us out. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss out on future corporate deep dives. Don't forget to check out our Discord community in the description for more real-time insights and discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.